The world's best keto high fiber pizza? Was that too enthusiastic? That's what we're gonna try to do today, guys. We're gonna try to do it. And I say try, that is the main operative word, an important word, but we're gonna see if it works out. We might create the perfect pizza, the perfect macro pizza that we've all been looking for. Now, to be fair, we also might just create a mess that's embarrassing for me and my whole family. Actually, I don't think my family would be that embarrassed. Okay, we're gonna need cottage cheese. So I've made a lot of pizza recipes on this channel. Some of them you really like. The carnivore pizza, it is delicious. It's great, but it's not high fiber. It's actually very low fiber. And if you've been paying attention, all the buzz right now is about fiber, fiber, fiber. We're not eating enough fiber. Fiber? Say that 10 times fast. We're not eating enough fiber as a society. The proctologists keep telling me, eat more fiber. Yeah, I have a whole group of proctologists that are just sending me, no, not really. So we're gonna start off with some cottage cheese, 1 1/4 cup into a blender. You could use like a Ninja Chop or any sort of food processor that you can find the parts for. Today, this is the only one I can find the parts for. Normally I would use my little Ninja, but you know, I ran into someone at the Wawa yesterday. It's 1 1/4 cups. And it was a viewer, a local viewer. And she was asking me what the little blender I always use is. And yes, it's a Ninja Chop. Nice to meet you. Not sure if you're watching this video, but if so, I don't have paper towels. I got nothing. I'll be right back. Ah, paper towels. See, I always make a big mess, so I always have to use like a whole roll of paper towels every time I cook. It's pretty bad. All right, so 1 1/4 cup of cottage cheese is gonna be the beginning of this recipe. Put it in a blender and make it nice and smooth. Ooh, that thing's fast. I wasn't expecting that. Does that look pretty smooth? That looks pretty smooth. No curds. Can I zoom in for y'all? There you go. Smooth cottage cheese. I'm gonna set that aside for a second. We're gonna come back to it. And we're gonna take our dry ingredients. And this was, okay, there's a whole saga here of one of these dry ingredients. No, it's not my almond flour, which by the way, my almond flour wouldn't open right, so it's not resealing. But I do have these little Dave Chef chip clips that I created and I 3D print here, and they're pretty cool and I sell them. 3-pack is 10 bucks. And if your almond flour or something won't reseal, you just do that, and these glow in the dark. How cool. Anyways, that's the end of my little ad for the thing I made, cup of almond flour. Now, almond flour was not the tricky ingredient. That one I can get pretty much everywhere. But there's one ingredient that it took me like 5 days to get because Amazon kept messing up the shipment. All right, so 1 cup of almond flour into a bowl. Then we want 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. Someone asked in my video, they said, Dave, I saw you use coconut flour. I don't like the taste of coconut. Is there a substitute? It does not taste like coconut in like a recipe like this. You're not gonna taste coconut. 2, and I hope this works. 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. Now this was the pain in the butt. I went to like 5 local shops. I checked all these websites. I could not find oat fiber powder. Oat fiber powder was the hardest thing for me to find. Now the reason for the oat fiber powder is it's gonna give us the fiber without destroying the flavor and messing up the pizza. We want a delicious pizza, one that tastes amazing, but also is keto, low carb, and has awesome amounts of protein. So this was what I found, this oat fiber. Took forever for Amazon to get it to me, but it did finally arrive. And we want 1/3 cup of it. Now we wanna fluff it first. We don't want it like condensed in any way, so I'm just gonna move it around in there a little bit and then get exactly 1/3 cup of oat fiber. And you know, it comes with a lot, so I think it was like 15 bucks or something. So it's not really expensive, it just took forever for them to ship it. And it said ship same day, didn't arrive same day. Then it said new update tomorrow, didn't arrive tomorrow. Then it said new updated time tomorrow, would you like to cancel? I said, no, I still really need it. And then on day 4 or whatever is when it showed up. Then we need 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Now, there's 1. It's gonna kind of be like a wheat pizza crust in a sense. It'll be similar to a wheat pizza crust. So 2 tablespoons of that. And 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk powder. This is another one that is and we want it leveled. It's a good source of fiber, but if you use too much, it can kind of mess up the taste, so be careful. 3/4 teaspoon of finely ground salt is gonna go in there. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder, which I'll never get over when one of you told me the little trick that you can use the side of the baking powder thing to level it off. How cool is that? 2 teaspoons of that. Half a teaspoon. I bought new measuring things for the 50th time, so I can actually use the right measuring tools. It's pretty awesome because usually I'm just cobbling it together, but half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then finally, we're gonna add a half teaspoon of Italian seasoning, just to add some flavor. So we're gonna whisk up our dry ingredients all together thoroughly, so everything's kinda, you know, really integrated well. And then we're gonna add to it our wet ingredients. And our wet ingredients are gonna be the cottage cheese, some mozzarella, which isn't really wet, but you get the point. Let's do the mozzarella first. Keep it dry here. I want a half cup of mozzarella. And if you like mozzarella and just food in general, guys, check out my newest YouTube channel. It's called Crumbs and Convos. Okay, Crumbs and Convos. It's me and my buddy Dan just talking about food, all things food. It's not like a diet channel, it's just literally talking about every food in the world, things we love to eat, some recipes we use to make those things, what we've been eating, what the food news is, all that sort of stuff. It's like an hour. We do 1 to 2 episodes a week, and I think you'll like it. It's a lot of fun. Crumbs and Convos. It's on YouTube and it's on Spotify and Apple, iTunes, whatever you say. 2 eggs are gonna go in next. No shells. That's we should get a shirt that says no shells. 1, 2. And then we'll bring back our hero, the cottage cheese. But yeah, Crumbs and Convos. It's like just talking to some of your friends about food for an hour or 2 a week. Just hanging out, chatting about food. In the latest episode, we talked about 3D printed milk, which is now a thing. They're selling 3D printed milk at Target. I need a spatula here. All right. I also talk about my struggles with eating good and sticking to healthy diets a lot because I do have trouble. I'm not as consistent as I need to be. But yeah, you can see my cottage cheese is super smooth. There's none of the like curds anymore because I blend them all up. And you can do like an immersion blender to blend them, whatever you need, just get them blend. Get them gone. I'm recording this on Valentine's Day. And there's this new, you know what, this is not a, this is not a whisk. This is like for a KitchenAid blender thing. Let me get a real whisk. And I'm supposed to go see Wuthering Heights tonight, the new movie. I don't know if I actually want to see it. It looks kind of boring. But I'm gonna see it. Maybe it'll be good. All right, so mix that all together. Oh man, my elbow. You know you're getting old when your elbow hurts whisking something like this. I was moving a bunch of stuff yesterday. Oh, I don't know why I'm using a whisk at all. Shall we try a fork? That might work better. The whisk is not really working. Yeah, fork's better, but you have to listen to the scratching on the bowl. All right, so that's all mixed up. We're gonna give it 10 minutes to rest. We do need to let it rest to let the baking powder do its magic, stuff like that. If you want, you can preheat your oven to 425. Start thinking about what you're gonna put on your pizza. I'm gonna go basic today, just pepperoni and cheese, but obviously you could have bacon and sausage and vegetables. You could put banana peppers, whatever it is you want. So let's let this sit for 10 minutes and we'll be back. I did this time splurge and go for the fancy pepperoni, you know, where you actually cut it yourself. Every now and then I do that. Usually I just use the pre-sliced stuff, but this thick pepperoni is really good if you use it on a pizza. So I figured I'd slice up a little of that, just a scotch. You don't want them too thick, but yeah, something like that, nice thick slice. So do you remove the casing, guys, when you do this? Should I? Is there carbs in the casing? You can take the casing off if you want to. I sometimes do, sometimes don't. But if this works, I was thinking we call it the perfect pizza because it's got perfect macros. That might make people in the comments mad. Like, it's not perfect. It needs to have 15 grams of, I don't know, vitamin D. I don't know what's in the perfect macros. I know my vitamin D is low. So I bought some cod liver oil. Have you ever tried that? I got my blood work done. They said my vitamin D is low. And so I was looking online, it said cod liver oil, like a teaspoon a day. Let me know, is that crazy talk? I bought some. It tastes kind of good, actually. I thought it would taste like fish, but it tastes like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of tasty though. But yeah, so I'm basic here. I'm gonna do the Rouse low carb marinara, but like no sugar added marinara. It's 6 grams in a half a cup. I'm gonna do the pepperoni and I'm gonna use the mozzarella cheese. Now, obviously you could elevate this, and maybe I should, but actually I don't know if I have any garlic. But some fresh sliced garlic, delicious on a pepperoni pizza. You should try it. Maybe I will. Good news, guys, I did find some garlic. So I'm going to do like 2 cloves of garlic too, just to elevate mine a little bit. Obviously it's pizza, you do you. Put anchovies if you want. I'm not judging you though, but ugh. All right, I'm gonna dice up some garlic and we are at 5 minutes for me. So I will cut the camera and be back in 5 to do the next step. All right, so we're gonna take a look at our maybe perfect pizza dough. We'll see. So we want it to feel like Play-Doh. I would say it does, actually. I'm pretty pleased with that. We want like a Play-Doh feel, and that's what we have. We're gonna pour it out onto some parchment paper, and we don't want it to be too sticky either. It's a little sticky, but I don't think per se it's too sticky. We'll take another piece of parchment paper here and just push it down. Let me wash my hands. Okay. And actually, I'll probably need one more piece of parchment paper. We want to get this down to like a 1/4 inch thick circle. If we can do that, we're gonna try just pushing it down. I could use what are those called? A rolling pin, I guess, too. That would be an option. But just trying to make the perfect pizza looking thingy here, 1/4 inch. That is, okay, that's good. It's not too sticky. I'm gonna see if I have a rolling pin handy. This is a lot of dough. We're rich, get it? A lot of dough, we're rich. I'm so funny. What do you think, is that a 1/4 inch? I think that's probably pretty close, actually. I do have this circle kind of cookie sheet thingy here that I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna take some parchment paper and put it on the bottom, just in case it wants to get all stuck. Oops, it's falling off the table on me. Oh no, it cut in half. You guys probably missed that. I'll show you what just happened. I got 2 pieces of paper, so it's split in half, which is not the goal. We messed that up there. Maybe I can fix it just by squooshing it a little. Yeah, it's happy. It's fine. I'm gonna flip it onto the thingy and try not to mess this up. It's a little complicated. Okay, you ready, Mr. Pizza? I'm ready. That's the pizza's voice. Dang it. It's falling apart again. Okay. It's not going well. All right, we're gonna add it in 2 pieces. How about? We'll do that. You're asking, Dave, why don't you just use the same piece of parchment paper it's on? Well, it's because I'm kind of scared it's gonna get stuck. And it kind of is getting stuck. So I wanna make sure it's not too stuck to the paper. All right, that's pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Then we add the other one. And we're just gonna squish it together a little, like that. There we go. We're like surgeons, like a surgeon. That's a Weird Al song, by the way. I think he was talking about, or like copying a Madonna song, to be fair. Okay, look at that. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's all about the technique. Let's put it in the oven. Yes, with nothing on it. We're gonna get to the adding stuff to it after we get a good, base here. 425 degrees. We're gonna check it at 10 minutes. We want it to start getting slightly brown. Why is it purple? What in the world? It's purple, guys. Why is it purple? Okay, Googled it. It's common with psyllium husk powder mixed with baking powder, and it doesn't affect the taste, and it's not a bad thing. But look, it's purple. See, these are little bits of cottage cheese that I didn't blend good enough. You see those? Or maybe they're mozzarella. I'm not sure, actually. They could be mozzarella. All right, so it's been like 11 minutes, and I'm gonna flip this because we don't want to have a soggy bottom in life or in our pizza. Okay, we gotta make sure it's not too, seems like it's wanting to stick over here where there was no parchment paper. Try to save it here. Yeah, you definitely need parchment paper. Confirmed. Well, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, cool. Okay, it's not really that purple. It's more like grayish. All right, so what I'm gonna try to do is I'm trying to take it off onto my counter, put some new parchment paper there, and hopefully this goes smoothly. Hopefully. Take it and, oh, it's really hot, Dave. That was probably not the best way to do it, but it worked. All right, okay. Sure, we're going with it. Back in the oven for like 5 minutes. Not too long, maybe 3 minutes back in the oven. I wanna talk the macros. We're gonna finish this up and taste it in a minute, but I wanted to talk the macros just so we have an understanding of where we're at. This bad boy is going to have in the full crust, 12-inch crust, 88 grams of fiber, which is an excellent fiber number. I'm supposed to eat like 40 grams a day. Middle-aged man. Middle-aged woman is supposed to have about 30 grams of fiber a day. So that means in like 2 to 3 slices, you'd get your whole fiber intake for the day, which is pretty good. Now carbs, I'm pretty sure, now I'm not a dietitian, but I'm pretty sure every fiber has a carb. So if you have 88 grams of fiber, you're gonna at least have 88 grams of carbs. But that's where net carbs come in, where you take your carbs and you subtract your fiber because it's the difference between soluble and insoluble fiber. I'm not the health guy, but I know that net carbs works because fiber is easily digested and doesn't raise your glucose. Therefore, on the keto diet, you go by net carbs and not total carbs, blah, de blah, de blah. So even though it's like 120 carbs in the whole pizza, it's 88 grams of fiber, meaning it's like 40 net carbs for the whole pizza or something like that, 35 net carbs for the whole pizza. So we'll talk more about the macros later, but I wanted to give you that basic idea of what we're working with. We're gonna let this go for like 60 more seconds, take it out, we're gonna top it, we're gonna cook it, we're gonna eat it, and we're gonna review it. All right, so it's been a few more minutes. We're gonna take this out, top it. We don't wanna overcook it. Hopefully this tastes amazing, because we know the macros are great. We've determined that. We're gonna put some rouse. I'm gonna measure it out. I want like a half a cup on the whole thing, just because I wanna limit my carbs totals. Spread that out like so. And we've all done this part of pizza making. Customize it, make it the way you like it. And I'm gonna take my garlic, my minced garlic, and I'm just going to put the minced garlic all over the pizza too. Then we put cheese on it, and you can add more garlic, of course, more cheese, whatever. I don't need to keep repeating myself, guys. Make it how you want it. And then we add our pepperoni. All right, we're gonna bump up the heat, I guess, because we wanna make sure that this stuff gets cooked. Wanna make sure that the toppings cook pretty quick. So back in the oven, 450 degrees for like 5 minutes. All right, and here we have it, folks. The perfect pizza. We're talking keto, low carb, high fiber. Is it high protein? I didn't even check that. Yeah, 92 grams of protein in the whole thing, 132 grams of fat. That's just the crust. Then we added some cheese and pepperoni, and you can customize what you add on the bottom or on the top. But we've got great macros. The real question is, does it taste and feel anything like pizza? Or are we about to have the most disgusting thing we've ever had in our lives? We shall find out, sure enough. I really overdid it on the cheese, I think. Let's see. I don't know. Is it stuck? I went really hard on the cheese. Whew. Okay. Look at that cheese pull, though. All right, so in general, only got one slice of pepperoni. It looks pretty good. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, so this is what we got. It's actually pretty good. It's not rubbery. It tastes really good, and it actually has a really close texture to pizza, more so than a lot of the other stuff I've tried in the past. Let me get some pepperoni. You're not gonna catch me complaining about this. All right, honest review. It tastes like pizza. The garlic's doing some amazing work. It feels like pizza. I will say the chew has, like, you can tell it's a little healthy. Like, you can tell it's like a whole grain style crust. That's really the biggest, like, the only thing I'd say is, like, it kind of has a whole grain vibe, which a lot of people, like, intentionally go for whole grain crusts and stuff. But it definitely has, like, more of the texture of a whole grain crust. But you're talking about tasting amazing, feeling like you're eating pizza, and having amazing macros, high fiber, low net carbs. I say you try it, guys. This is actually really good. Comment down below if you do. Let me know what you think of it. Yeah, I think oat fiber is a nice secret ingredient. Hit the like button, hit the hype button. Check out my other channel, and we'll see you next time. I can't stop eating it.